what you said earlier about the evolution of NXT and certain elements that still make it a developmental brand. I think the thing that, to me, most makes it a developmental brand is that the better these guys get, the more spectacular, the quicker they're going to get called up to the main roster. And when you realize that this day and age, more than ever before, there's fans who are saying, I like TakeOver is better than the main roster pay-per-views. And it's almost like a minor league baseball team or college basketball team where you could lose your favorite player. So you see Double Team Dream says, call me up, Vince, people start talking. What would it take to get to the brand to a point where that's not part of the element? Would it be a giant TV deal for NXT where the idea of getting called up makes you really lose the developmental label on NXT altogether?
Well, I think so. I think, though, the thing that changes that is the call up or the call back. You know, it's a funny thing because it's almost like college football and the NFL. And I used this example earlier today with somebody, but there's a lot of people like college football better than the NFL. There's a lot of people like the NFL better than college football. There's a lot of players that will be drafted number one that after a couple of games you'll never hear from again, right? They'll collect their money, grab their check, whatever it is. They'll never hardly play, and then they're gone in the league. But yet college football, I mean, obviously there's some differences in the analogy, but like college football is kind of its own thing, and the freshness of it because there are people leaving and coming. If college football existed, but yet now if the kid got drafted number 2 and then it didn't work out, he could go back to play for the college that he played for and come back in like a conquering hero and do well again and reboot and go to, a different pro team maybe and take his time and then come out of there, and it's a different scenario. I think that very soon there's the potential to reach a period of time where